Good evening, Abhayji. Okay, good evening. Let's start with the view on the Nifty. Now this is the Nifty near month future chart. This is a day end chart for the Nifty, and you can see the latest candle that is there. So today basically it was an indecision. So this candle that you see here is an indecision candle. One second, I'll just show you. So this candle that you see here is an indecision candle. So the highs and the lows made by the candle today are going to play an important role for tomorrow. So the first support that is mentioned here is going to be important. So this support here and this resistance. is going to play an important role for today, for tomorrow. Overall, basically the market is range bound between these two levels. You can see this range, so around 15,700 and 15,800 is the support, and upside 16,300 and 16,400 is the resistance. So this is the range for the markets right now, and as the earning season is going on, we will see a further direction once the earnings are done, or based on the way the companies announce the earnings. So if and it's expected that the earnings are going to be positive. So let's see how the markets develop, but overall right now a range bound trade is expected. Crude price is also cooling off, so I have posted right now in the update that I sent to you on WhatsApp. I've mentioned right now, so the crude had gone down to $91. Right now it's trading at 93. So let's see what happens going forward. But yes, crude is clearly in a downtrend after making those highs around $120, $125 some last month. So it's clearly in a facing pressure at higher levels. Okay, so basically overall for the Nifty, a range bound trade is expected, and which levels to watch: 15,860 and 16,079. Those are immediate support and resistance levels for the Nifty. So till the time it does not break past these levels, we should expect a very narrow kind of a trade, or a narrow range in the intraday. Fine. So if there is any kind of move that is witnessed in the intraday trade, same like what I had posted today also, you would get a similar update if you are in my WhatsApp broadcast. Right. So this is Nifty. Now let's look at Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty also, we have an indecision candle today. So if you look at the current candle here, this is an indecision. Okay, let me just zoom the chart a bit so that you can see it clearly. And so if you see the latest candle, this one, it is an indecision. So the high and the low is going to play an important role. So again, same like Nifty, this first support 34,623 is what one needs to watch for tomorrow, and this first resistance 34,890 is what we need to watch for tomorrow. These are going to play an important role. Overall 34,000 and 35,500 is the range expected for the Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty is expected to trade between, see, you can see these levels. So this is there and this is the higher end. So overall this range Bank Nifty is expected to trade into. Got it? So you have the levels on the chart. Okay, now let me show you the intraday chart of Nifty. Now this is the intraday chart of Nifty futures. Now here you would see now this is a 30-minute chart basically. So for the last approx a month, you can see that the Nifty future has been respecting the blue color trend line that I have plotted here. So it's continuously finding support at these levels. You can see it here. So all these points are support points, and there are multiple points here and some, right? So multiple points here. You can see for the last approximately 1 month, this level has been respected. So 15,850 or 15,860, the lows that the Nifty future made today, is a good kind of a support level. So till now, for the last approx 1 month, this has been respected. So going forward, until unless this breaks on the downside, this should act as a good kind of support. And why Sanjay ji is asking why every Friday is range bound? Because indecision. So on weekends, people on a weekend, people would not like to carry positions because there is a lot of uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen over the weekend and how the opening happens on Monday. So therefore, basically, it's an indecision. So indecision is always when there is no clarity or uh, uncertainty. You'll have an indecision. So basically, looking at this 30-minute chart of the Nifty future, you'll understand that the levels that were the levels at which we took support today is a good kind of a support level. So until unless this breaks, uh, we should not see kind of down move. So up move also is limited right now. So a narrow kind of range between 15,800 and 16,200 is the intraday range for the Nifty. Got it? Okay, now next is okay, DOW. Now in case of DOW, basically if you look at this chart, see DOW is also trading in an indecision kind of a phase. So these blue color lines that I've plotted here, it's range bound between these levels. So this is acting as a support. This is around 29,500 or 29,600, and on the upside, these lines are acting as a resistance. You can see it here. So these are resistance levels. So basically, it's range bound, and today, though it is trading down, 30,000 is still acting as a support. So this level between 29,500 and 30,000 is still been respected. So that is a positive. So overall indecision in the US markets, and that is what is leading to an indecision in our markets too. So a range bound trade like this is expected to continue at least in the American markets, and the same would be reflected in our markets as well. Okay, now let's look at the crude price. Now this is NYMEX crude, which is traded in dollars. So right now crude was trading at, let me check, crude is trading around $93-94. So it had gone down to 91 and it has again bounced back to 93. It is very crude. It is important for crude to break below levels of 93 and start trading below 93. So once that happens, and it's going to happen. So if you look at this chart, you will clearly see that the trend has changed. So it is so from here it was trading up. This is a complete sideways trend, you can see, and what is happening now is a clear cut downtrend. So it is making lower tops, lower bottoms, plus this blue color trend line which was acting as a support, this also has been broken on the downside. Now there is this support around 93 levels. Once that 93 is taken out, so see around here you have this support, so around 93, 94. Once that is broken on the downside, then we would see the price of crude cooling off and going down to levels of 80, 85, and then maybe lower as well. So this is important. So the breaking this level of 93 for crude is very important. 93 is a very important support for the crude right now. Once that breaks, our markets are going to rejoice. So watch this chart as well. Okay. Okay. Along with this, now let me show you some charts of some stocks which are looking interesting. So first we'll start with Kotak Mahindra Bank. Okay. Now see. Now this is Kotak. Now Kotak today has managed to break past this resistance here. This horizontal line that I have plotted. Let me make it red. Okay, so this level was acting as a resistance. This has been broken today. So this is positive. So if Kotak continues to trade above this level is 1750. Okay, let me write it here. This level is 1750. So till the time this price manages to trade above 1750, it should aim for higher levels. And what are the next resistance levels for the stock? So first could be this 1820, 1828, and the next one could be this one 1880. So 1828, 1880 are the next levels for the stock. The bullish trade in this particular stock will fail if the stock falls down below 1750. So if you get into a long trade at current levels, then your stop loss has to be below 1750. So your stop loss can be 1748 or 1746 or 1748. And this bullishness, possibility of this bullishness taking the stock up to 1828 and 1880 is possible. This is Kotak. Second stock which I want to discuss with you is Dr. Reddy's. Now in the current weakness that we have seen IT stocks going down, you would also be able to see buying interest coming back into pharma stocks. So in case of Dr. Reddy's also, Dr. Reddy's was facing resistance at these levels. So 4,430, 4,450. This was a resistance band for the stock. And the stock has managed to break past this band, and this was acting as a resistance for what period? You can see last 5-6 months this level was acting as a resistance. So if it manages to trade above this, then the next targets that the stock will aim for is around 4,700, and then higher levels around 4,900. So 4,700, 4,900 are levels which get activated because the stock has broken past this resistance for the last 4-5 months. So that is a positive. This bullish view would fail only if the stock falls down below 4,430. So for long trades, your stop loss has to be at 4,400 in case of Dr. Reddy. So this is another stock which is looking interesting and which you need to keep a watch on in the intraday trade. Then along with that, Mindtree today came up with numbers, and Mindtree, I had discussed this in the latest video that I had uploaded. Twice we had discussed this. Now basically it is trading in a narrowing range. So here you can see 2960 is the higher end of the range and 2775 is the lower end of the range. So and today if you see, there is a black candle which is a selling candle, but the price has managed to take support at that trend line that we had plotted. So this 2775 is a level which you need to watch. If the stock breaks below this, then yes, we could have a downfall happening witnessed in the stock. So that could be an opportunity to go short in the stock. The bullishness will come back, or there will be a bullish trade which can be seen only if the stock manages to break past resistance at 2960, right? So these are two levels which you need to watch for Mindtree. Then TCS also, you got an update from me today on WhatsApp, and I posted that update because if you look at this chart, see what had happened was this: there is a support around 3023. Now this support today has been broken. So in the intraday trade, when the stock broke below this level, I had posted you that update, and the next support for the stock is 2885. So that's the next support. So till the time the stock trades below 3023, there are chances that the stock falls down to the next support level, which is 2885. So now this support is going to change. It is going to be 2885, and this resistance also will change. Resistance is now going to be 3023, right? So this is this level. Got it? And when will this short, the view that we have, the bearish view that we have in this case, when will it fail? It will fail if the stock moves above level of 3023. So if you have a short trade, then you need to have a stop loss at 3045, or maybe above the high of this candle. So the high is 3057, so you can have a stop loss at 3060. This is TCS. So this is another stock which you have to keep a watch on. Then another interesting stock is Titagar Wagons. See, Titagar Wagons, let me show this to you. Let me show a monthly chart first. Okay. Now, if you look at this monthly chart, then I'll just zoom so that you see the chart properly. Okay, this is the latest chart. Now you will find that the stock right from September of 21 has been trading range bound. So you can see it here. So this complete period is a range bound period. So it has been trading range bound. Supports are around 80, 85, resistance is around 120. So in a 40-point range, the stock is right now trading for the last 1 year, approximately 1 year. Now, positive thing is the stock. So this is the range. I'll just plot a horizontal line here. See, so this is the support end and this is around the resistance. Now, currently the price is around that resistance and it's trying to generate a breakout. So this breakout will be confirmed on a monthly closing. So therefore you have to track it on monthly closing, no doubt about it. But whenever a trade happens, whenever a trade forms or an opportunity is generated, it is first seen on the daily chart and then later on you will see it on a weekly and a monthly closing, right? So the level which we need to watch in case of Titagar Wagons is, I'll just delete this 1 second. I'll just do the technical plotting here. So the high of this is 124. So 124 is an important level which we need to watch. The stock currently is trying to, it moves above 124, it falls down back again. It's doing that kind of a trade, but you need to watch this level. Now I'll come back to the daily chart as well, but let me show you this monthly first. And this 124 level is very important because this level has acted as a resistance in the past as well. So once the stock managed to break past 124, then the stock would have an opportunity, and you can see the next resistance that the stock has is directly around 180, 190 level. So there could be a good kind of an opportunity if you are interested in investment, say 6 months to 1 year view. That could happen once the stock managed to break past 124. So this is one stock which has to be on your radar. Now let's go to the daily chart of this. See, now when you go to the daily chart, the thing which you will immediately observe is the level that we plotted of 124 on the monthly chart. You can see how the way it is acting as a resistance here. So this level, see the price for the last these are latest 5 candles, last 5 trading days. The price has not been able to break past. So every time it tries to move up, there is selling and the price comes back down again. So therefore, you have to watch this in the intraday trade, this level of 124. Whenever the stock managed to break past this level of 124, and if that breakout happens with volumes, then you can initiate a long trade. The stop loss should be at 120. So every time it does that, you enter a trade. Okay, so fine, you may not have a big quantity, you may trade a smaller quantity so that your risk remains low. That also is possible. Start with a small quantity with a stop loss at 120, and if it managed to close above it, then on day end basis we can analyze the chart and then we can decide targets, a new stop loss, a new target, new time target, and all those things, and then maybe you can add your position further. Plus after that, if on a monthly closing also it validates the view, then again the analysis can be done from an investment point of view. You can again think of adding position, and that all can be done, right? So your first thing is, first action starts from the intraday trade. So which level to watch? You have to watch a level of 124. What would be your stop loss? The stop loss after breakout would be at 120, right? So this is Titagar Wagons, TWL, which you have to have on radar. Okay, so we discussed TCS, we discussed Mindtree, we discussed TWL. So these 5 stocks are looking interesting. There are more stocks as well. One second, I'll just filter them out. Okay, next is Alchem. I'll just zoom the chart so that you can see the latest chart clearly. Now we are going to look at the daily chart. See, now for the last 1 month, more than 1 month, last 2 months, the stock has been facing resistance at the current level where it trades. You can see. So there is a resistance band around this levels of 3190 and a lower level also is there. So right from 3160 to 3190 there is a resistance band for the stock for the last 2 months. So you have to wait for a breakout to happen, and whenever there is an opportunity, basically we are discussing all stocks where there can be an opportunity going forward, and whenever that happens you have to catch that opportunity. It is as simple as that. So whenever the stock manage to break past this resistance here, the black horizontal lines that I have plotted, resistance is at around 3190. That becomes an opportunity for you to get into a long trade, right? Where is your stop loss? Once the breakout happens, your stop loss would be at 3150. This is Alchem, a stock which you have to, which has to be on your radar. And so Alchem. And the last stock I want to discuss today is ATGL, that is Adani Total Gas, right? So the stock has been trading in a nice kind of an uptrend for the last few months, and if you see the latest chart, so this is right from February to recent, the last 4-5 months of chart. Here you can see the stock consolidated basically. So first an up move, so you can see this up move here, and then you can see this consolidation here, and now the price is again moving up, right? So this is one stock which has to be on your radar. If I have to plot a trend line to identify the resistance, I'll join all the tops here during the consolidation. And let me create a parallel line. Okay, so basically this was the consolidation that the stock went through. You can see this. So it was trading in between these two, between a channel or between these two lines, support and resistance line, and after that the stock has managed to trade upwards, right? So it has broken past this channel, and now it is trading up. So now the recent high that the stock made is going to act as a resistance. So what is that level? So this level is 2867, 2867, 2868, 2867, 2868. So it is this resistance that the stock is facing. So basically in an intraday trade, you have to keep a watch on this level. Whenever the stock managed to break past this resistance at 2868, that could be an opportunity to get into a long trade, right? So you have to keep a watch on ATGL as well. And ATGL, that is Adani Total. Okay, so we discussed Kotak Bank, Dr. Reddy's, TCS, Mindtree, Titagar Wagons, Alchem, and ATGL, and along